to my Temple Spa nail bar. I figure if you can't get to the spa or the salon, then why not create your own manicure at home? So here's how I do mine. So stage one is obviously if you have nail polish on, you need to remove that. I've decided right now I'm going to go au naturel, and that's because I really want to get my nails in a really healthy condition, and so I'm enjoying getting the sunlight straight to my nail bed, but they need to look good. So here's how you can create that really great look for your nails. So step one is to file your nails. Now, maybe you've heard that you should soak your nails first of all. That's an option. I prefer not to though, because I find if I soak my nails for too long, they actually get quite soft and bendy, and it doesn't make it as easy then to file your nails. It's quite easy then to break them and scag them. So I like them to be dry, and that's the very first stage. And of course, the thing to remember with filing is always to file in the same direction. Don't seesaw or go backwards and forwards like this. In fact, don't go too far down the nail at all, because that can really weaken the nail and create little splits. So once you've filed your nails, that's step number one. The next thing is to give your hands a really good double cleanse. So I do this in two ways. The first way is to take my lemons, and here I cut a lemon in half, and then I just squeeze the juice of half a lemon into my hand like this, and then I use it to give my hands a really good cleanse. Now this really helps to get your nails nice and clean, and also your hands in general. If you've got a few stains or you've been gardening like I have a lot recently, then it's so good to be able to give your hands a lemon cleanse. And actually the AHAs in the fruit as well give that lovely fruit acid fine peel to the hands. So that's step number one. The second cleanse comes from a deep exfoliation. Now here's how you can actually make one at home from some store cupboard ingredients. And what you start with is some olive oil. And so I'm going to pour some olive oil into my bowl here. And then the next stage is I'm going to add some lavender here. Just going to put some dried lavender, break that up into the mixture so that I've got that beautiful, getting that lovely lavender fragrance. And I'm also going to take a little wheat germ here. This is a vitamin E capsule. I'm going to break that and actually just squeeze the contents into my oil as well. It's really powerful oil, wheat germ is. And then I'm going to take some sugar. And this is just ordinary granulated sugar. And I'm just going to sprinkle my sugar into my oil. In fact, I think I'm just going to pop the whole thing in there and stir it around until I get this really great sugar buff. And that for me is a way that I can buff and scrub and exfoliate my hands in a really nutritious way. So I then pick up this scrub, put my hands over the bowl, and what I'm doing is I'm just exfoliating some dead skin cells. I'm really working that into the dry patches. I write a lot and I've always got a pen there, so my skin always gets quite dry there. So I'm actually pushing back the cuticles and giving myself a really good scrub here. The smell is amazing. And then what I would do is pop my hands into a plastic bag. If you've got someone in the house, that's great. Get them to pop the sandwich bag onto your hands, and then you can just sit for 5 minutes while you're just having a cuppa or you're just watching some TV, and carry on exfoliating your hands, because you've got the plastic bag there. You're not going to get the scrub all over the sofa or wherever you're sitting. So do that for 5 minutes, and when you have finished, you wash off the excess, and I tell you, your hands feel amazing. You can go up your arms and do that as well, and that's going to give your hands and arms a really good treatment. Now what you can do instead is to look at Sugar Buff. So Sugar Buff contains all of those ingredients plus some other really amazing Mediterranean goodies in there as well. We've got some fig, we've got some pomegranate and some other beautiful oils and butters in this scrub. And what I love about it, this is the best exfoliator anywhere on the planet is it's really solid. And it's only when you break your hands into it that it starts to melt, and then you can just use it with a little bit of water as well, just to create this amazing, it's a concentrated scrub. And obviously you can use that all over your body, but I love to use that when I'm doing my hand cleanse. And in the same way, pop your hands into the bag. And so once your hands are nice and clean and they're already starting to feel soft, the next stage is that you're going to give your hands a beautiful treatment, and it's a treatment mask. What I do first of all is I take some lip balm. This is All Talk lip balm. It's beautiful. It's got beeswax and it's got some fabulous ingredients in it. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take a little bit of lip balm and I'm popping it onto my cuticles. First of all, that's treatment number one, is I'm actually working that right into my cuticles. Then the next stage is I'm going to take a mask. Now for this, I'm going to use Quench. Quench is our most hydrating mask and it is so beautiful. It's very rich and delicious. Obviously, if you're at home and maybe watching some TV while you're doing this, you can pop some mask on your face. But in this instance, I'm using it as a hand mask. And so what I'm going to do, just dry my hand there slightly, I'm going to take, this is just like a little pastry brush, and I'm going to paint the mask onto my hand there. And this brush helps you to get it all in between your fingers, right down over your nails. I'm going over that lip balm on my cuticles there, and I'm going to just paint this all over my hand, the underside as well, so I get a really good coating of mask. The next stage is to take one of these. Now we all know what these are, but you've probably got plenty in the house. So then what I would do is I would pop my hands into the glove, one on each side, and that will help to penetrate the mask into your hands. If you then want an extra level of treatment, I have a hot water bottle and I actually then place my hands one on top of the other around the hot water bottle. And I keep turning over the hands. And so that acts really like a mask heater that's gonna just help, like a sauna, to get the benefits of the mask into the hands. While you're doing that, another little extra tip here is, what about your elbows? They always get super dry. So here's a way in which you can just use your half lemons and you actually can pop your elbow into the lemon. And believe it or not, what that does is it really softens the skin and cleans the skin. And often our elbows are quite hard. And so that is a marvelous treatment. And so you just sit for 20 minutes. And if you do like I do, because I go to a nail bar in London and I always have a cheeky little glass of Prosecco. So that's what I'm going to do now. Delicious. And it is the evening, so that's okay. And so just sit and relax for 20 minutes. I know that's sometimes difficult for all of us, but it's just a good way to give your hands a lovely treatment. So once you have done that for 20 minutes, you take the gloves off and then you can do one of two things. You can either just massage the Quench into the hands. I often feel that at the end of that 20 minutes, usually there's not a lot of Quench left. And so actually you can just massage the residue into your hands, or you can clean that off. And then this is the final stage of the treatment. And if you don't have that mask, you could pretty much use any hydrating mask. You could actually even use a nice thick body cream as well. It's just something that's going to really penetrate the hands. So my next stage now is I'm going to attend to my cuticles. They're already reasonably soft because I've actually given them that little lip balm treatment. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my oil and I'm going to pop it on each cuticle. Again, if you wanted to, you could just use some almond oil or some olive oil. I love It's All Good because it is all good. Actually, you can see this is mine because it's not very much there. Because I use this every night I actually use it at the moment underneath my Repose night cream. So it's kind of like a preparatory serum that I use underneath my night cream. But I'm going to use that now on my cuticles. And so what I do now is basically just take one of these little implements that's like a hoof, and I will push back my cuticles. If they're really dry and they need cutting, you can actually use these little specially designed nail clippers, but you have to be careful because these are lethal. If you don't know what you're doing, you can actually cause more damage than good. So leave that as an option. But once you've pushed back your cuticles, and you know, this is a great treatment to use every night. I have this by the side of my bed and I apply it to my face, and then I do just what I did there. I drop a little bit every night into my cuticles. And you know, if you have soft, healthy cuticles, you've probably got a really healthy nail as well. And so that's going to be my cuticle treatment. The next thing I do is buff my nails. Now, because I'm not wearing nail polish, I like my nails to look really kind of sparkly and healthy. And so I use a buff, and I will just buff the nails. There's two sides to this type of buff. There's one which is for ridges, and that just helps to smooth out any ridges in the hand. And then the other side is the high shine buff. Don't go too mad though, because you can actually thin the nail down and again cause more damage. But the idea is to really help the circulation and just help your nails look lovely and rosy and healthy. So now I'm going to take my treatment oil, and this time I'm going to put it all over my hands. And I'm going to leave my hands with this beautiful oil. It's All Good is the most delicious oil. It's got a blend of several different Mediterranean oils in it, and it's just made for the job. It smells completely delicious as well. And then finally, palm balm. I think particularly in the season where we're washing our hands a lot more and our hands get dry, it's good to have these around the house. And so I've got palm balm on my desk near my PC, and I've got it by the side of my bed. And it's just a reminder every time I see it, I think, oh yes, I must just wash and dry my hands and put some palm balm on. So that is my final stage of the treatment. And really, when you've done that, and it takes no more than 20 to 30 minutes max, and it's nice to do for the guys as well, and that just restores my hands and just makes them feel so soft and just beautiful. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I would say cheers.